What's going on, everybody? It is your boy here, Controversy. And today, guys, I'm going to be reviewing Kendrick Lamar's debut album, Section.80. Now, there's some people that consider this album a classic. There's some people that don't. Personally, for me, I consider it a classic next to albums such as T-Pep and Good Kid, Mad City. And the production of this album is quite solid, quite unique. I mean, it features some hip hop jazz with some New York boom bap, some strong percussion with some hi hats, some snares, some drums. It's crazy. And it also features this unique 8-bit electro sound, especially on songs such as Tammy's song, Her Evils. And this is definitely the start where Kendrick starts to cultivate this unique jazz sound, but it's not going to be fully exploited upon until his 2015 album T-Pep. Now, this album tends to highlight Kendrick's views on a lot of different topics, such as sexuality, drug abuse on songs such as ADHD, the youth, crack babies, the Ronald Reagan era, and his criticism towards the Ronald Reagan era for making crack so popular and so prevalent in the ghetto communities. This is essentially where this term crack babies comes from, as Kendrick likes to put it on songs such as ADHD. It also highlights Kendrick's views on religion, and how on this earth it's like so easy to sin, and how we're all sinners, but through the embrace of God we can find religious balance. Like we can all be balanced spiritually, that we can all find embrace through God. These type of religious themes tend to be exploited upon in songs such as Cushion Corinthians, featuring melodic singer BJ the Chicago Kid. And it also, this album also tends to highlight essentially the imperfections that we as humans tend to have within us. I can tell that Kendrick's a dude who quite embraces imperfection. He's not afraid to talk about pain in his music. He's not afraid to talk about the problems that he goes through or that anyone else goes through. These themes are highlighted in songs such as No Makeup Her Vice, where he likes girls that are original. He likes girls that show their imperfection. He doesn't like girls with makeup on, and basically in that song he highlights, don't be afraid to show your imperfections. Don't be afraid to show your pain or your problems. Don't hide your problems with alcohol. Don't try to avoid your problems. Just be open and just face the world. Just embrace the world around you. Embrace it. Don't try to hide your imperfections. And he elaborates more on this idea of imperfection and the woman in songs such as Tammy's song, where he talks about these two women that are emotionally weak after their men cheat on them, and how they fully come together and how they find comfort in each other. They turn lesbian. Well, in a way, I guess you can say that they kind of love each other, so they turn lesbian in a way, but they find comfort in each other. And yeah, man, this album features a lot of viewpoints, definitely a lot of subjects that Kendrick talks about, from politics to religion, his environment. He also talks about essentially this unique I don't give a fuck mentality in songs such as Chapter 6. This mentality that you live fast and you die young. This is supposed to highlight essentially on how the reckless lifestyle can be dangerous, especially in a city that's really violent, in a city such as Compton. So there's definitely a lot of things that Kendrick has to say with this album. He's definitely making a statement, especially with songs such as High Power. He that's basically like a statement to him. And what's interesting about that is that Tupac inspired him to make that track. He came to him in a dream, according to Kendrick, and told him that don't forget about me, spread my message. And essentially the whole meaning behind High Power is basically, on how you should look for knowledge, how you should be rich, how you should be rich within mind and soul, rather than being rich with actual money. Like be rich in mind and soul, look for knowledge. Essentially, it's like a anthem for gaining knowledge. It's basically a statement. High power tends to stand for honor, respect, and heart. You know, and Kendrick likes to put it as, take all of these three things with you and show this. These are the emotions that you need to show in your everyday life. And basically, if you ignore this movement, then you'll just go back to your ignorant ways. And Kendrick also deals in on racism, on how you shouldn't, on how he doesn't care what his audience looks like. He doesn't care what color his audience is. Fuck your ethnicity. He doesn't care what color you are. Pigment. He doesn't see color. I highly respect that, man. And there's like I said, man, there's a lot of themes to this album. I honestly just love this project. It's quite amazing. He also gives pays homage to music icons, Aaliyah, and TLC member Lisa Left Eye Lopez, as well as UGK member Texas Southern rapper Pimp C, in songs such as Blow My High. And it's quite interesting. The song is called Blow My High, and Aaliyah, she died in a plane crash, rest in peace. And the pilot who was driving the plane was high, Blow My High. So I thought that was interesting. And one track that definitely stuck out as far as the feature was definitely AB Soul's outro. I feel like, because overall throughout this album, Kendrick has a really laid back type of voice. He has a really laid back, chill type of flow. While on AB Soul's outro, you kind of see AB Soul with this really powerful, emotional voice, kind of tying in all the concepts of this album, trying to clarify everything, because AB Soul basically, talks about, in that song, he talks about, the crack babies, the Ronald Reagan era, race, ethnicity, this idea that color doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter, the woman, Keisha, prostitution. It basically ties in the entire album. But I feel like, that song definitely stood out because AB Soul had this really strong delivery, while you had Kendrick with this kind of laid back, chill type of flow, which is not bad. But I just feel like, throughout the album, I don't know, I feel like Kendrick could have maybe put in some more emotion. Throughout the album, he had this really laid back type of flow, which it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I just feel like more emotion might have. He just needed more emotion, I would say. More emotion in his voice. That sort of spark, I would say. But yeah, man. Overall, man, this project is amazing. I thought it was a pretty great album. Definitely a really, really conscious album that could explain why it definitely did sell copies, but it's a really conscious album. I would say really different from albums such as Damn, which is more, I would say, more mainstream. But yeah, man, Section 80, man, great album. I would say a really solid debut. But yeah, my final rating for this album is gonna be, I'm feeling a 9 out of 10 on this thing. I honestly enjoyed it. The production was amazing. Definitely a lot of themes that Kendrick talked about, from the Ronald Reagan era to the crack babies, drug abuse, and their sexuality, the youth. And yeah, man, overall great project, man. I enjoyed it. And I'm really excited to see what Kendrick might come with in the future. Hopefully he drops this year, man. But yeah, 9 out of 10. What'd you guys think? Did you guys enjoy this review? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What ranking will you give this album? And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.